Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another Thursday Bite-Sized Buhl. My name is Kayla. I'm the staff educator of the Buhl Planetarium. We've got a very special tour planned today. Before we head out on our tour, please note that this Facebook Live will be recorded for sharing on the Carnegie Science Center's social media channels. And all the participants in this Facebook Live have consented to be recorded. Now today we are taking a look back in time. We've traveled to August 23rd, 79 AD, or CE, the Common Era. And we are at the location of the city of Pompeii. And this is a very historical night. This is the final sunset over the city of Pompeii. The Romans were very interested in the stars, in astrology. They told lots of stories using the stars. They believed that some celestial bodies were the gods in the skies. As we advance through time, the sun sets and eyes begin to turn towards the heavens, and the stars begin to dance across our sky. Those who held great favor by the gods were granted access to live among the heavens. Now, there are many prominent figures in the sky, and there's many myths. Most of these myths were actually adopted from the Greeks. So when telling these stories, sometimes we use the Greek names, or we'll use the adopted Roman names. High overhead, there are three very bright stars. Their names are Vega, which is found inside of Lyra, the harp, Deneb, found inside of Cygnus, the swan, and Altair, found inside of Aquila, the eagle. These three stars make up what we call today the summer triangle. And to the Romans, these three figures told varying stories in the sky. Lyra was actually a harp that was carried by a very famous musician. Cygnus was thrown into the heavens to honor the Helen of Troy, said to be the most beautiful woman in the world. And Aquila, well, Aquila was better known as Jupiter, the king of the gods, pet eagle. Aquila would often do tasks for Jupiter. He would often collect different beings. Now, high in the heavens, we can see Aquarius, just this figure right here. Aquarius was once known as Ganymede, who is said to be the most beautiful man on earth. Jupiter thought no mortal man should be so handsome, so he sent his eagle Aquila to fetch Ganymede and bring him to the heavens to serve the gods. We can forever see Ganymede pouring the glasses for the gods in the sky. He's carrying a pitcher here. We know him today as Aquarius, the water bringer. Taking another tour across the sky, we can come to this shape right here that kind of looks like a keystone. This keystone shape is the center of the constellation we call Hercules. Now, Hercules was known to the Greeks as Heracles, and he was the son of Zeus. In Roman mythology, he was the son of Jupiter, an immortal woman. So Hercules was both god and both mortal, a demigod. Though he was admired for his strength and intelligence, he did not have an easy life. He endured many, many trials, and in a jealous rage, the goddess Juno, which was the wife of Jupiter, bewitched Hercules, which led to the tragic loss of his family. Grief-stricken, Hercules sought out to console the oracle at Delphi, a very powerful mystical figure who is believed to interpret the god's will. The oracle instructed Hercules to complete 12 labors. After the completion of these labors, Hercules earned his place among the stars. Now beneath Hercules, we can see another figure. It almost looks like a bell shape in our sky. We know this constellation today as Ophiuchus. We can see him holding another constellation here, known as Serpens. To the Romans, this was Asclepius, the son of Apollo. Asclepius was said to be a very skilled healer. In the art of medicine, it was said that sometimes he could even bring those who were on the brink of death back to life. He became so skilled from watching a snake lay herbs on another snake and heal that snake, which is why we often see him carrying a serpent. Now, the talented healer who was saving many lives made the god Pluto, the god of the underworld, very jealous and fearful. He feared that Asclepius would one day put him out of a job and make all of humanity immortal. Now, to put Pluto at ease and to honor Apollo, Jupiter removed Asclepius from Earth and placed him in the stars. Now, if you're ever looking at medical symbols today, you'll notice that there is a serpent wrapped around a staff. This is where that legend comes from. This is still a legend that we can see in use today. Now, stars were not the only figures that were prominent in the sky. There were also several planets that were visible to the Romans this night. Looking towards Aquarius, we can see the beautiful planet Saturn. Saturn was named for the god of farming. This was Jupiter's father. We can zoom in for an up-close look. Saturn is the second largest planet in our solar system, and it's known for its spectacular rings. Those rings are about 175,000 miles wide, but on average, only about 30 feet thick. Now, because those rings are so thin, they can actually perform a disappearing act, much like a god in the sky. Because they are so thin, as Saturn orbits the sun, it wobbles on its axis. And for a brief period of time, we look at those rings edge on. Because they're so thin, they appear to disappear from our view. We're going to back away now into our evening sky so that we can find a few more figures that were prominent the evening before the eruption. Looking towards the east, just coming up over the horizon, we'll see a very bright red dot. This bright red dot is Mars. We can zoom in for a closer look. Mars was named for the god of war because of its red color in our sky. Now, Mars is red, not because it is covered in blood, but because it is covered in iron or rusty iron. We like to call it rusty, crusty, and dusty. Backing away now, we're going to find just a few more figures in our evening sky. As time advanced, more planets became visible in our evening. Coming up over the horizon, just after midnight, we're going to see Jupiter, the king of the gods. Now, Jupiter is not just the king of the gods, but it is also the largest planet in our solar system. And Jupiter is known for its great red spot. That spot used to measure about 3 Earths wide. Now it's just slightly bigger than 1 Earth. Jupiter is made of mostly hydrogen and helium gas, very similar to what our sun is made out of. As we back away just a little bit, we can see Jupiter's very famous moons, Io, Callisto, Europa, and Ganymede. Now, these figures were actually named after people in Jupiter, the king of the gods, life. These were very important people to him. and we're going to back away. Very slowly and advance time just a little bit further. As the stars continued to dance across the sky, there is one more figure that we're going to see rising in the east. Just before the sun rises, we can see Venus. Venus is located near Leo that morning. Venus was named for the goddess of love and beauty, and she was the patron goddess or the protector of the city of Pompeii. Venus is the second planet in orbit around our sun and is actually the hottest planet in our solar system. It reaches nearly 900 degrees Fahrenheit, both day and night. This is caused by what we call the runaway greenhouse effect. Venus is a very dense carbon dioxide atmosphere that traps heat on its surface. Imagine having your car windows rolled up on a hot summer day. The sunlight enters your car, it becomes very, very hot, but the sunlight cannot enter back out through the glass. Same thing is kind of happening here on Venus. Sunlight enters through the clouds, but it cannot escape back out, making it extremely hot. Venus is also an extremely volcanic world in our solar system. It's home to a very tall volcano named Mount Mons. And as the sun begins to rise, we see our last figure in the sky that was known to the Romans. This is Sol, the sun. Sol was said to be the brother of Luna, the moon. Now we've taken a tour through our evening sky. We've looked at a few of the myths that you can see dotting our sky. Constellations that still bear some of the Roman names, the planets that still bear them. I want to thank you all for joining me on this amazing tour. And I would like for all of you to know that if you would like to join us next weekend, we are having Space Out Astronomy Weekend. It's an entire weekend dedicated at the Science Center to just astronomy and space. We have tons of fun activities and planetarium shows planned for you. We hope to see you all there. You can purchase your time tickets online at carnegiesciencecenter.org. I hope you all enjoyed your little tour of the Roman Pantheon today and have a wonderful rest of your day.